Well. Kind of listening to Brian Schottenheimer a little bit today before I get started. And the one thing that I'm glad about, I'm excited about, Brian Schottenheimer is not punking out as it applies to the Green Bay Packers. Brian Schottenheimer believes the Dallas Cowboys can beat the Green Bay Packers, even with the injuries. That's what I want to hear. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm tired of all this soft talk, man. This is football. If you don't think you can win the game, forfeit the game. If you don't think we have a chance, don't even watch the game. Just let somebody tell you about it. Let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And we are live. And if you see that HYPE button today, hit that HYPE button. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Brian Schottenheimer. Man, let me tell you something. Brian Schottenheimer be talking, man. If there is one thing Brian Schottenheimer knows how to do is have a press conference. I'm going to give Brian Schottenheimer the benefit of the doubt. I've been thinking about some things. Man, going to put together some great videos, some great shows this week, giving you some of my thoughts on kind of where I think this thing is with Brian Schottenheimer. But Brian Schottenheimer, man, I'm telling you, this dude is my kind of coach. All we got to do now is see if Jerry gonna let him coach. Let him get this thing to where he wants to get it. Because the way he talks, we know where he wants to get it. So, y'all know what the day is. I got to go teach. It's Wednesday night Bible study. Got to go teach. But I had to check in with the family, check in with the congregation of the Cowboys. Let's check out this Brian Schottenheimer interview. I think it is very good. I listened to all of it today. So, it is a great interview, and I like exactly what he's talking about. So, let's get this thing going. It's just the Brian Schottenheimer interview today. I got a big show planned for you tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. And then we're going to do the pre-show on Sunday. Boy, it's going to be an action-packed week. And we're going to do Cowboys After Dark Thursday night and Sunday night. Man, it's going to be a great week to be a Cowboy fan, and definitely a great week to be following Let's Talk Cowboys. Let's get it. Yep. Let's go. All right, we got to get this thing in. I'm going to get a quick roll call in. It's a little light today, so I know I can get them in. Well, we creeping. It's 1:13 and counting. Let's go. Greetings, Sequini. What up with you? Let's get this thing going. LaQueen, my sister from the beginning. Hope all is well. Jeanette Rogers. She in here early today. What's going on? Ron Hanna, the regular. What's going on? He said, can't wait for Sunday and these changes. I keep hearing, hope they're not blowing smoke. Man, me too. We're going to do a big show tomorrow, Ron Hanna. Big show tomorrow. Because the show tomorrow, I'm going to talk about all the changes I hope the Cowboys make. We're going to do a big show. It's going to be big time tomorrow. Big time show tomorrow. Big Moss Dog up in this thing. Derrick Jones, what up? Real estate. It's the real estate vet. What up, real estate? What's going on? Lock and D, good to see you in here. Let me tell you something. You threw me with your avatar yesterday. I thought something was wrong with my screen. It's all black. What's going on with you? Lock and D said they need to sit Trayvon Diggs down. He ain't right, but they got to give him less snaps. My Mills 36 in this thing. Mills, he's because the way he came in, he had to sit out 4 games. He'll be ready in October. He'll be ready to go. Juice, Maine, what up in this thing? Lisa Worley, what up? Katharina Kiss, what's going on? Big Mouse Dog, I have to agree with you. He said, hit that like button. Sadiqa Charles, what up? He's arrived. What's going on with you? It's that sax guy. What's going on with you? Let's get this thing going. Niecy, another one of my sisters from the beginning. What's going on? She said, I hope there's not another shotty. It's another shotty interview. He needs to get his butt in the lab and stop all this talking. He's done a lot of talk. I just still think he's done more than Mike McCarthy as far as talking goes. John Jones, he said, what up, G Money? I say it's a New Jack City. Yes, I'm pulling for them Cowboys forever too. Dustin Roberts, what's going on? Called all the 72 Chevelle in this thing. What up? Brandy Mahoney. She always says, hey, my loves. What's going on with you? All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started because I don't have a lot of time today. I'm awake. What's going on with you? I'm awake. Brandon Cup. I'm going to get this thing started. I promise you. Let's go. We'll greet some more y'all as you come in. Let's get this thing going, Brad Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Tell me this isn't diabolical, y'all. I mentioned this yesterday. I hope Shotty don't continue this trend. This dude is diabolical. This dude, Brian Schottenheimer, is eating rock candy. He's sucking on rock candy for the second time during an interview. Come on, man. I know you don't want to do all these interviews. Niecy, I don't think he want to do all these interviews. He's a Dallas Cowboy coach. I think it's required. But this dude is sucking on rock candy. My wife would be losing her mind listening to this man talk. If that was me doing this in a conversation with my wife, she'd be going crazy. Listen to this dude. He gonna suck on this candy the whole interview.
Are you ready?
I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. I remember when you traded Micah Parsons, you said you addressed the team. Now on the return, will you talk to them about the anticipation and all those kinds of things?
No. Again, they're all excited to see Micah. Like I said, I'm excited to see Micah before the game. Maybe not on the field because he's such a good player. But no, I mean the guys know Micah's coming back. It'd be great to see him. And no, it's a normal week, another championship opportunity.
Brandon Mahoney, I have to make sure I mention this. I saw you yesterday. You said that Michael Parsons said that Dak Prescott was his guy. And I know he said that in the past. But I also know that he said some things about Dak Prescott that's been kind of questionable. But the thing that has me even more amazed, and we'll talk about this tomorrow, but kind of piggybacking on this thing they're going to be asking about Michael. The thing that's absolutely insane to me is Michael Parsons said I'm paraphrasing it, but he said that it's going to feel funny sacking Dak Prescott because Dak is his guy. Well, how does he know he even going to get a sack? He didn't get a sack last week. He's kind of been having sacking it. The thing that I'm really concerned about with Michael Parsons, because I've watched him play with Green Bay this year, is I noticed that he does get he gets some cheap shots in too. I don't even know it's going to be about. I don't even know if it'll be about sacking Dak Prescott. He may try to get cheap shots in on it, and that has me concerned. That part has me concerned. I'm not concerned about the sacks. I'm concerned about the cheap shots. I've watched him do it for 2 weeks. He makes sure he gets a hit on the quarterback, even if the quarterback gets the ball. And y'all know how they do. They'll let you hit the quarterback. Not super late, but if it's kind of like bang, bang, and we all know they don't really have to do it, but they'll still do it anyway, I believe Michael Parsons is going to try to get it in on Dak Prescott, even if he don't get a sack. But I thought it was kind of funny. He said that, it's going to feel funny sacking Dak Prescott. And Brandy, let me say what he said. That's my guy. That's what he said. He said, that's my guy. He said, but when we hit that field, it's going to be business. Well, I've been kind of watching the way he's been doing that business. So the Cowboys are definitely going to have to keep their head on the swivel with Michael Parsons.
What would you say to when people say, without him, your defense has not been the same? It's not been as good.
I would say that, we have not been playing to the standard we want to play to, but if we had Micah, you can't predict that we'd be playing any better.
Brian Schottenheimer watched my video last night. I'm the only one making this argument. Me and Brian Schottenheimer are the only one making this argument. People are in la-la land about this thing with Micah Parsons. We were 1-2 last year with Micah Parsons. The defense was atrocious last year with Micah Parsons. Through 3 games, Micah Parsons had 0 sacks. 9 tackles, I believe, and 3 solos. 9 assisted and 3 solos, I believe. It is a myth that this defense would be better. We don't even know within these first 3 games if Michael would have had sacks. He didn't have them last year. He didn't have them last year. We played against two of the 3 teams we played last year in the first 3 games were trash. Cleveland, trash. Saints, trash. The Baltimore Ravens were a formidable opponent, of course. But those other 2, they were trash. We barely beat the Giants in the Giants game that he played in. 20-15. He got hurt in that game. It is pure mythology that we would be doing better with Micah Parsons. And Brian Schottenheimer, I'm just gonna say he watched my video. I don't think he did. But I'm the only one making this argument. It is ludicrous for someone to be saying, and the Dallas media, I like the Dallas media, but I'm telling you, they create narratives that are not true. It's amazing to me that they don't want to do the homework that I did and go back and show what the Cowboys look like in the first 3 games and show Micah Parsons' stats. They won't do it because it destroys their narrative. It is pure mythology. And you cannot say, no one can say, based on what we saw last year, no one can say this defense would be better. Because it was, if we want to call it trash, well, if it's trash now, it was even more trash last year. That thing was a disaster.
Can't predict we'd be.
And we had DeMarcus Lawrence. Man, it is crazy to me when you think about what we had last year and that defense was trash. It was worse last year than it is today. Come on, man. We're not being truthful. DeMarcus Lawrence was out there. Michael Parsons was out there. DeMarion Overshown came back. Come on, man. Trayvon Diggs can't. For all intents and purposes, Trayvon Diggs was healthy. Come on, man.
You playing any better, any worse? Are you 3-0? Are you 0-3? You don't know. I mean, those are projections. So, again, we're focused on the things that we need to get better at. We realize we got to get more pressure on the quarterback, but we also have to cover and communicate better. And those things don't change, and they're not going to change. When we play well, they're not going to change, you know. And so our job as coaches is to always look for solutions when you're doing things poorly, and when you're doing things well, you find different and better ways to sustain that success.
So if Michael Parsons had 0 sacks through 3 games last season, were we not having the same discussion with Michael Parsons here last year? It's the same discussion. They had to figure out a way to get to the quarterback because through 3 games, Michael Parsons had 0 sacks. I'm sure we had some sacks through 3 games, but he didn't have any. It's the same discussion. Based on the evidence, it's the same situation. We would be the same defense, period. End of story.
Process never changes.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys. You talked yesterday or Monday about solutions and possible lineup changes, roster changes. Have you made any of those decisions yet?
We've started the process. We've had some discussions, but part of those discussions and decisions will be based off how practice goes. So, we'll see how today goes. Good padded practice today. Another practice tomorrow, obviously, before we have the final dress rehearsal on Friday. But yes, we've had those discussions. No, I'm not going to share those with you. But the reason I'm not sharing them is because they're not finalized until we get through this week of practice and finalize Friday afternoon. Hey, yeah, let's do this. Let's make this move. And but there'll be some things that feel a little different to the guys just from a rotation standpoint.
This discussion about practice, this discussion has me very perturbed. Because this is how they continue to keep Jaden Blue out of the lineup. They continue to keep Jaden Blue out of the lineup based on practice. When if there is a week that you need Jaden Blue, it is this week. Miles Sanders is not good enough to be the second running back on this team. That second running back needs to be flashy, fast, elusive, change of pace. He's not good enough. They got to, this is the game. I don't care. Man, if this dude can't get in this game, put this dude on the practice squad and go get somebody. Put him on the practice squad. Brian Schottenheimer said they wouldn't have got him if they didn't think he could start. By which game? But by which game? Which game are we talking about? He's the only player that has been affected, it seems, by practice. Mozzie has been affected. I don't think Mozzie has been affected by practice, though. He can say anything he want to say about Mozzie. No, Mozzie's been affected because, honestly, Mozzie just hasn't lived up to the billing. And he's nowhere in the ballpark with Kenny Clark. I mean, even Jay Toya is giving him competition. So we know why that is. But this thing with Jaden Blue, to have that kind of speed sitting on the bench is absolutely, utterly ridiculous. I'm not listening to any excuse. Show us on the field that he can't play. And don't do what you did to Cooks last year. You went and got Cooks, let him play 3 or 4 plays against the Atlanta Falcons, let him run 5 times and said, see, I told you he couldn't run. Then we left him on the practice squad to rot, and now, of course, he's out the league. No, don't give him 5 carries. The Cowboys are going to have to run the ball against Green Bay. They're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to get that defense honest, because if they don't get that defense honest, and if Dak Prescott's going to drop back and throw 35 times and try to get in a shootout with Green Bay, he won't make it out of this game. Michael Parsons is the least of the worries in this game, I'm telling y'all. This doggone Green Bay defense, Brian's going to mention some of these players. They got a defense. Speed, I'm telling you, they have an absolute defense. You don't want to drop back 30, 35 times. You want to drop back 20 times, maybe 25 at the most. But this ain't that game. They need a show-enough run game. Green Bay will be keying on Javonte Williams. You watch what I tell you. Once a team gets about 3 weeks of tape on you, oh, okay, they're going to try to run Javonte Williams. We got this. Not to mention we're playing with Brock Hoffman and Bass. Oh, them boys are going to be attacking through the middle. You watch what I'm telling you. I won't be surprised if Michael Parsons, that's one of the places they try to send him, is right through the middle. The Cowboys are going to have to put together a show-enough run attack between Javonte Williams, Jaden Blue. I think this is the week you got to let him loose. And they need to figure out a way to get Hunter Lipke involved in the run game. Put this dude in as a fullback. Put him in as a fullback. Let him come out of the backfield, catch some passes. But you got to get this dude to be a part of the run game. We're going to talk a lot about this tomorrow. But this thing with practice just bothers the heck out of me because it's the way they've been keeping Jaden Blue on the bench.
Talk about the loss of Tyler Booker, and the plans to replace him as a TJ Bass, so you look at some other guys.
Yeah. Again, Book's been playing well. He's been growing. Again, the biggest thing for a young rookie like that is just the leadership that he brings. And, there'll be guys that have to step up in that regard, but we'll try a few guys over there. TJ will get some shots at it, some ops. Got Trevor Keegan, who we're excited about. Hakeem Adeniji, he's got some flex, but, we'll see how those guys compete. But, tough break for us.
Brian, Todd Archer with ESPN. Does it help that your tackles have practiced against Micah the last couple of years with Guyton and Steele and getting ready for a guy like this?
I think at the end of the day, our guys all know Micah, and again, I hope because they know him. But guess what? He knows us, and he knows he knows the way they set. So look, Mike is a great player. Mike is going to make plays. I just put that out there. Like, Mike is going to make plays. Does he get a sack? Shit, I hope not, but he might. He's pretty good.
I like these two comments made by Hallelujah and Nisi. Hallelujah says the edge that Dak has over other quarterbacks is that he isn't afraid of Michael from playing with him for so long. Yes, sir. I agree. Nisi says, Michael, please, if you his guy, why do you and Dak talk? If you his guy, why do you and did talk? Got you. Why do you and did talk publicly bad? And it's true, talk publicly bad about Dak every chance he got. Yep. It was only when people would kind of like put his feet to the fire, Nisi. He say, "Oh yeah, Dak, Dak, my guy. I like Dak. Dak deserved what he got." You didn't say that. That's not what you said in that interview on ESPN. Carolina Cowboys said this Dallas Cowboys defense was playing lights out at first in that game. Eventually, though, Dak Prescott couldn't get anything deep. They're going to do it again, Carolina Cowboy. They're going to do it again. The Cowboys are going to have to get ready. I'm telling you how Green Bay is going to play them. They are going to bracket George Pickens the whole game. They're not going to give him anything deep. We're going to talk about this a lot tomorrow. The question is simple. It's the same question we had last year. Can Jalen Tolbert have a game like he had against the Pittsburgh Steelers last year? Can Jalen Tolbert have that game? Because that's the game it's going to require from Jalen Tolbert to beat the Green Bay Packers. We might as well just, to be honest, we might as well wipe George Pickens out of the game. Just wipe him out of the game. Because they're going to take him away. I will not be surprised if they triple cover George Pickens. They are going to take him away. Because if I was playing the Cowboys, I would take him away. I would dare the Cowboys to beat me with Jalen Tolbert. I would dare them to do it. Beat me with Jalen Tolbert. We're going to single cover Jalen Tolbert all day long. Beat me with Jalen Tolbert. We're going to triple, not double. We're going to triple George Pickens. If Dak Prescott throws it to him, it better be one of the best tight window throws you ever seen in your life. I'm going to triple cover George Pickens, and I'm going to dare you to beat me with Tolbert. I'm not worried about you beating me with Ferguson. 3.7 yards after the catch, I'm not worried about it. We'll just keep him in front of us. He'll get 6 or 7 yards. He won't run another yard. We're not worried about Jake Ferguson. That's how I would play if I'm the Green Bay Packers, that's how I'm playing the Cowboys. It's that simple. I'm going to make everybody else beat me. If you tell me I got to worry about Ferguson, Tolbert, Turpin, and I'm talking from the perspective of if I'm Green Bay. If you tell me it's got to be Ferguson, Tolbert, and Turpin to beat me, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Because who I'm not going to let beat me is George Pickens and Javonte Williams. That's who I'm not going to let beat me. The game plan is simple if I'm Green Bay. Jalen Tolbert got to have a game of his life again. Jalen Tolbert, see, this ain't just about George Pickens proving that he's worth a $25 million. No, Jalen Tolbert. This is your opportunity. Jalen Tolbert has 4 games to prove to this league that he's better than a 3. He's got 4 games to do it. I know we were saying this is about Pickens and blah, blah, blah. No. This is about everybody not named George Pickens. Because if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I know how I'm going to play this game. Y'all might as well wipe George Pickens out. Wipe him out. Because that's what I'm doing. Wipe him out. Make everybody else beat me. That's what I'm doing. Mac Man said he confident because he's going up against Terrence Steele. Lisa Worley says, anybody ever thought maybe he might hold off on us and not play that hard? Nope. It ain't happening. Let me tell you something, Lisa. Michael Parsons is saying what he needs to say. He's saying what he needs to say in the court of public opinion. Let me tell you something. This dude is hot. Michael Parsons is hot. Let me tell you the statement that has Michael Parsons hot. When Jerry Jones said it was unanimous, that statement got Michael Parsons hot. I'm telling you, that statement got this dude hot. Michael Parsons is going to be trying so hard, it is going to be mind-blowing. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. This dude is hot at this team. And he's not gonna probably say it outright. But that dude is hot, I'm telling you. So the Cowboys, again, they're gonna have to be sure to know where he is. Because he's gonna try to get it in on us. And it's not the sacks that we have to worry about. I've watched him play this season. And I'm not saying he's a dirty player because everybody do it. It's not the sacks, it's the hits. It's the cheap shots, it's the hits, because everybody tries to get it in.
But I think our guys are going knowing we've got a good plan. It takes more than one guy to block Micah. But let's not forget, Rashawn Gary's a hell of a rusher, too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a defense that's got incredible speed with Cooper and Walker and Micah and Rashawn. And they're deep and they're fast. And so our ability to have success against the Packers defense will be about a whole lot more than just Micah. Because Micah's a great player, but just adding Micah to the mix doesn't negate the fact that they've had really good players there before Micah got there.
Did I not say the same thing yesterday? Michael Parsons is benefiting from being on a defense like that. Michael Parsons, I'm telling you, if Michael Parsons is not in the final 3 for the Defensive Player of the Year with that defense, it was already good. It was already good. So he's benefiting from them. They're benefiting from him, but he's benefiting from them too. He is definitely benefiting from them.
Without CD likely this week, how much does it fall on Dak to elevate guys even more around him in your mind?
Yeah, I think, Dak has to worry about Dak.
Shadell, what up?
We've got a good plan for how we try to maneuver the personnel groupings, Todd, but it's hard to replace CD. But injuries are part of the game, and they're probably going to be out there tackle, and so you lose players, and next man up, you move up, and the one thing it's never can be and never will be is an excuse. We're good enough to beat the Packers without CD and Book and the guys that we could be missing, but the only way you do that is if you play well and you execute, and if you don't, you put yourself in a tough spot. So we have to do that, and that starts with today's practice.
John Machota with the
That's how you challenge your team. That's how you challenge your team. Challenge them. That's how you challenge them, Brian Schottenheimer. Now it's up to the team to respond. This is a very pivotal week for Brian Schottenheimer. This is a very pivotal week. Brian Schottenheimer's got to do his part. I'm confident that Brian Schottenheimer is going to put together a very good game plan. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt last week. I don't like the play he called to CeeDee Lamb. I understand why he called the play because the play has been successful at times to kind of get CeeDee going. I don't agree with the play. But I believe it changed the entire game plan for the Dallas Cowboys when CeeDee Lamb went out. And to make that adjustment after the whole week, your game plan has been based around CeeDee Lamb, that about 35% of your offense is based around CeeDee Lamb. And now you got to do without CeeDee Lamb, from the beginning of the game. Even if you make adjustments, well, how do you make those adjustments? Because the drop-off from CeeDee Lamb does a drop-off because George Pickens ain't the same type of receiver. And then from George Pickens, there's another drop-off, and then those players aren't even ready. So Brian Schottenheimer, and I believe this is where he locked himself in. I believe he locked himself into a certain style of playing. Brian Schottenheimer's answer was to run the ball. That was his answer. Well, that's fine if you're going to run the ball. You just got to make sure you score. The Chicago Bears, for whatever reason, they understand zone defense, and we don't. And so Brian had to change up that game plan. Well, this week, he's going into this game knowing that he don't have CeeDee Lamb. And I'm sure that Jalen Tolbert is a big part of this game. I guarantee you, they're telling him, they've already told him, you're a big part of this game. You and Turpin are going to be a big part of this game. Because Turpin will still be at the 3, which now we're going to see more of Turpin. Turpin will be at the 3. Might see some Flournoy in and out, depending upon what the situation is. Turpin will be at the 3. Tolbert will be at the 2. This has got to be a big game for Tolbert. But I'm saying all that to say this. Brian's got to do his part. He's got to put together a great offensive plan for the offense. I'm confident that he will. Number 2, Matt Eberflus. You better do some things different. Number 3, personnel. The personnel that they're talking about is not on the offense, and we all know it, other than Jaden Blue. The Jaden Blue thing needs to happen this week. Jadeveon Clowney, no-brainer. Maurice Leofow needs to take snaps from somebody. Shamar James needs to be activated. Hey, if the way Sanborn playing, Shamar James, come on in. And the biggest move that need to be made, Bland is automatically going to help us. Bland will be outside and in. So we won't see as much Kyer Elam as we've been seeing. Bland will be able to play on the outside some. But the biggest change on this team, and we all know what it is, Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker. If Brian Schottenheimer does all of what I've just said, the challenge he just made to his team, now it's on them to answer. Now it's on them to answer. Because if you telling me you're going to make all the necessary adjustments, and I'm not just talking about game-wise, personnel-wise, if you're going to make all those adjustments, now you can throw that challenge down because you just put us in the best position to win. You just put us in the best position to win. Carl Alder, Cowboys need to go head-to-head with Green Bay. Carl Alder, I'm telling you, I'm leaving it all out on the field on Green Bay. And I believe the Cowboys are. But it's got to begin with, Carl. It's got to begin with. They have got to make those personnel changes. Because if they make those personnel changes, implement some more blitzing, now you can tell your team the Green Bay Packers are beatable. Beatable. We still have enough talent. Okay, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. If you'll do what you said you're going to do, Challenge accepted.
Athletic, what's the plan this week for J.W. and Clowney? Will he be a full go and be ready to go for Sunday?
Again, not going to put that timetable on it yet, John. But again, he'll work more.
He
This is
playing.
his second week. He's more comfortable with the things we're trying to do. We're working to get him active, but we'll see. There's the numbers game and things that you have to look at. Obviously, we've got to make some decisions about IR. Do we put somebody to IR? Do we not? We don't have to make that decision today. We're not going to make that decision probably today. You got to get through a day or two. But Jadeveon's doing everything and trending towards playing.
If I'm not mistaken, Tyler Booker has been put on injured reserve. I think they're talking about putting him on injured reserve. They're talking about it, or they've either done it. Y'all tell me if this is not crazy to y'all. This dude, Tyler Booker, had a high ankle sprain and played the entire game against Chicago. Tell me that isn't insane.
Now, that being said, let's see how today's practice goes. Let's see how this week of prep goes. Let's see how he is in the meetings. Let's see how he's retaining the information. But the hope would be to get him out there, and if we can, we will, and if we can't, we won't.
You obviously have a lot on your plate as the head coach and offensive play caller, but when there's defensive issues like this the last couple of weeks, is there anything about your schedule or anything that you do that changes to where maybe you are looking maybe some more at the defense than you normally would be?
I think, I always try to spend some time with the guys. I always watch a game with them. I'm very involved on game day with ideas and suggestions, and I'm on top of the issues that come up. I had some really good conversations with Flus. That's no different this week. Flus gets the fact that we need to play better. He's, very honest. He's not been through this before, and had, a string of 2 games like this where you're just kind of, hurting yourself and you're having self-inflicted wounds, and you're doing some of it as a coaching staff and some of it as players. And, part of that is, okay, well, let's look at it. Let's talk about it. Had some great, feedback with the defensive staff, and we've got a good plan in place. We're going to simplify a few things. Like I said the other day on Monday, doesn't mean we're going to play one front, one coverage. But we are going to simplify some things in a good way. And, we've looked very closely at what we do well. There's things that we do well. And we have to do more of those. And that's what we're kind of looking at. And, again, we'll implement a lot of stuff today.
What would you say you guys are doing well in defense?
I would say we've had stopping the run would be the first thing that jumps out. You had a guy like Kenny Clark that was important to us. You guys know that going back to the trade. I think we've forced some third down and longs. So we've won some on first down. The areas that we're struggling would be obviously getting off the field on third down. I think we're worst in the league at that. That needs to get better. It will get better. And then the turnovers have to come. We have to generate takeaways. Momentum-building plays are really important when you play this style of defense and you play the way we want to play as a football team in terms of running the football as an offense, stopping the run on defense, taking the ball away, and protecting the football. Obviously, the standard of protecting the football has not been good enough either.
Nick Harris, Forward Star Telegram. In 2022, when you had that role with Dan Quinn, working with him, using the opponent's offensive game plan and scheme to figure out the weaknesses with the Cowboys defense, is there anything you can draw from that experience to help in game planning against Micah Parsons this week?
I think I know Micah pretty well. They move him around a lot, which is great. I'm not going to give away our game plan for Micah, but, we'll pay a lot of attention to Micah. But like I said, they've got other really good players as well.
Yeah.
Micah can be dominant, and we know that. But we're going to hit him, and we're going to put multiple people on him. And you know what? It's going to be a long day for us and the guys trying to block him because he's that talented. But it's not just about Micah. It's about their entire defense. But really, it's about us. It's about us controlling what we control. And those guys out there on defense, including Micah, Rashawn, Gary, those guys are great players, man. But if we get caught up too much on them, then you lose focus on what really matters, which is your execution.
And then, is there a plan today for Deron Bland?
Yeah, see if we can work him back in today. It'd be a good day to get him out there and see how he does. But I think he's trending towards playing, hopefully. And let's see how today goes.
Tommy Harsh, DallasCowboys.com. Jordan Love, where have you seen him kind of take the next steps as a starter since, I know you don't want to remember 2023, but since you guys last saw him?
He looked pretty good in 2023, that last game I saw him play. I think the command of it, he's been in the system now for a while. You see him getting through progressions. You see him, knowing where everybody is, checking the ball down. The guy's really an excellent passer. But I just think, you see a mastery in the system a little bit. Really good at the play action stuff. They obviously run the ball very well because of the back. Josh is a great player, and I like what they do. I think what they're doing with Jordan, the system is excellent because they can run the ball, but the play passes are excellent off of it. And I just see a guy that's maturing. You see his eyes move, his progression. He's balancing the defense in zone. He does a good job of moving people to the right, knowing he wants to go back to his left. And for a guy that loves watching quarterback play, it's been fun for me to watch his evolution.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Brian, you talked about in week 1, you showed CD your call sheet. It was the CD plays, then the George Pickens plays. Is it as simple with CD trending toward not playing that all the Pickens plays get pushed to the top of the call sheet where CDs were?
Well, we add more rows for more guys. Fergie's going to have a big section this week. Fergie's playing really well right now. I think I really like the way all of our tight ends are playing. Jalen Tolbert's a guy that, you guys all know, led us in touchdowns last year with 7 touchdowns. He'll have to step up if CD doesn't play. Terp will have his, but George is always going to be a focal part of what we're doing, whether CD's out there or not, and that really doesn't change. I would say George's role doesn't really change. It's more of some of the other guys around him that will change.
How do you feel like George's on-field relationship with Dak has progressed and where it's at 3 weeks into the season?
No, I think it's great. I think those guys have a great relationship. I think they talk all the time, and I couldn't ask for more.
Skyler Hicks with the AP. I can't imagine that training camp you were thinking you'd be game planning against Micah Parsons. How do you reflect on the Micah saga, and how weird is it to be in this week where you're game planning against him?
I really haven't thought about Skyler. It's a good question. I mean, you really don't have time to think about it. It's just, it's like we play Micah this week in the Green Bay Packers, and this next week we play Keenan Williams, and it's like, that's what this league is about, and so you really don't take the time to think about it. Like, if you truly do believe, which I truly do believe, that each week is its own week and you can't get too high, you can't get too low, then I literally haven't spent a lot of time going, man, can't believe we're playing Micah this week. It's like, damn, who's number 1? He's really good. He's fast. Wow. You don't do that. You just, okay, he's a good player. Then, ooh, who's 52? Rashawn Gary, he's really good. So it's each week you have to separate that. And I think that's where teams have success, is when they're able to do that. You compartmentalize and you focus and you say, okay, who we got to stop this week? Well, the list is pretty long in Green Bay on defense and on offense with the weapons that they have and the quarterback. And then next week the Jets present a different problem. And then whoever we play next, maybe Carolina, whoever it is, I don't even know. You have the same issues. So I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about that.
Now let me elaborate on this a little bit. He already knew he was going to be scheming against Micah Parsons. I absolutely believe Jerry Jones when he said they were already talking about this trade. And the reason why I believe him is because James Slater already reported this was talk in 2023. They were complaining about Micah in 2024. I'm sure he knew this was a possibility. This wasn't I 100% believe this wasn't a spur of the moment decision. The decision wasn't made at the right time, but it was not a spur of the moment decision. So I don't think it's when people ask stuff like that, it's no concern to him. They already knew. Nisa said Ryan Clark said Jerry's more interested in the team remaining in the tabloids and being a soap opera versus a Super Bowl contender. Nisi, I have a hard time taking Ryan Clark very serious. Ryan Clark to me is a walking soap opera. I mean, Ryan Clark himself is a walking soap opera. This dude says some of the most. There are times when Ryan Clark says things and I'm like, he on point. And then there's a lot of other times, I'm like, what is this dude talking about? Ryan Clark himself, I can't take Ryan Clark serious. His I don't know, his perception on certain things is just skewed. Dominique said no reason why Blue shouldn't be playing, especially since they lost Lamb for 4 weeks. I don't see how you justify it. If that dude is that bad at practice, then doggone it, put his butt on the practice squad and bring up Malik Davis. Bring him up. Because anything else don't make sense to me no more. John Jones said they act the fool and put Blue on the practice squad. He will get picked up in a heartbeat. You ain't lying, John Jones. But I'll tell you this. If the dude can't get on the field by now, boy, that. I don't know what else to tell us. That's crazy. Unlucky said, why are we using wide receivers as running backs? I'm not even 2020 on this, Unlucky. I thought it was dumb. Ice Cold Cowboy, greetings. What's going on with you? Iron Reaper said rookie running backs are rising in on other teams. He said, what are we doing? Yeah. Carolina Cowboy, you said it. Run the ball, and run the ball some more. And I do believe that's what the Cowboys are going to do. But they got to be very careful. Because if they're going to run the ball, they got to score touchdowns. As much as I love Brandon Aubrey, only thing I want Brandon Aubrey kicking for me is extra points. That's the only thing I want him kicking. We got to stop relying on this dude so much because 3 points is not good enough with the defense we have. It's not good enough. Sadiqa Charles, Micah claims he's not upset because Jerry's not going to recognize his return, which is a lie. He upset. This is why he said it was her tag. Boy, you ain't lying. Boy, you ain't lying, Sadiq. Sadiq, hey, man, this dude, no doggone well he wanted some kind of, he wanted some kind of special thing for himself. Come on, man. He ain't fooling nobody. He ain't fooling nobody. Nisa said if they're about football, put the best players on the field, not the money. That's it. Big Amish, he said, you're spot on. Dak cannot pass his way out of this one. He can't. He can't. If Dak drops back 35, 40 times, it's going to be, man, I'm telling you, he's either going to be surgical. I mean, he's either being surgical or they're getting the brakes beat off them. Now, the Cowboys are going to have to slow this game down while at the same time being explosive. They have got to get quality over quantity. How can we scheme George Pickens open? How can we match him up one-on-one? How can we get him to run past the cornerback and the only thing we got to worry about is the safety? Can we get him matched up on the safety and get him past the cornerback? They have got to scheme him open. It's going to have to be quality over quantity because I'm just telling you, the game plan is simple for me. I bet you who's not touching the ball if it's me. This is simple, man. I promise you. And to hear him say, yeah, Fergie gonna have a lot on the man, I don't even want to hear that talk. I don't even want to hear that talk. Let's stop pretending that Jake Ferguson is Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez, regardless of all the other stuff, Aaron Hernandez was a monster tight end. Let's stop acting like this dude is a monster tight end. If this dude, if you're going to tell me that Ferguson going to have 15 to 16 receptions in this game, man, we're going to lose this game 31. We're going to lose this game 38-14. Ferg is not a run after the catch tight end. And the defense I'm going to run, I'm going to keep Ferg in front of me. Ferg is not catching balls in traffic. So if I'm going to keep Ferg in front of me, then the only thing he's going to be doing is what we give him. The Cowboys can't play like this. Rationale, he said, I need Lipke chipping like he's trying to outline someone in chalk. I need to see him at the fullback position. I mean, even if you're not going to run, sometimes you got to show run. I want to see him at the fullback position. I want to see him back there for extra help in the backfield. Chanel said, Blue does not just overcome you running speed, but Blue can line up as a receiver. Blue has great hands. Yes, I said the same thing. He said he works out as a receiver. Man, this dude, you got to get him in. Danny Dallas Cowboy fan, let's go. He said, bring in John Gruden as the head coach for our Dallas Cowboys. He said, I don't trust Brian Schottenheimer. He is not the answer, Cowboys Nation in G. Hey, he the answer we got right now, Danny. He the answer we got right now. I'm rolling with him. He sounds like he wants to make the changes. The question is, will Jerry let him make the changes?
Said that a couple of times after just another week. Was your dad kind of an influence on that when you sort of watched him in high-profile weeks, or were there other guys that you kind of observed when it was a high-profile game and how they kind of treated the week?
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up. Yesterday was his birthday, so I love you, Dad. I know you're looking down on me. Yeah, he was. He was that way. He was very much a theme of the week guy. I don't think I'm as much of a theme of the week guy. He had Raider Week, and he had different things that he would talk about. But he was very matter of fact. And I actually used one of his things today. I said, to the guys in the team meeting, I said, our goal this week is to go 1-0. And it's really your goal every week. But, you can't look back on Chicago. You can't look back on the Giants. The goal is to go 1-0 this week. Well, how do you do that? Well, you focus on today's meeting. Then you focus on today's practice. You pay attention to details. But
yeah, put a game plan together and put the best players on the field.
I think that was the strength of his, the fact that he was going to he'd put his blinders on, man. And even, when I was a kid, he'd come home and it'd be, 10:30 at night or whatever, and he'd be in the zone. And I'd be like, Dad. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, sorry. That's what happens to us because we just we get going, and your mind doesn't stop.
Joe.
See, I like what he said about his father. See, I mentioned this yesterday. This is how I would coach. I would have every single week, I would find something on every single team to give my team an extra incentive to beat that team. I know people talk about even kill. Well, hey, that works for some people. It wouldn't work for me. I'm from the old school, listening to how Michael Jordan did things and how some of those type of players did things. I'm finding a reason every single week of why we need to beat this team. Last week would have been simple for me. Eberflus revenge game. That would have been so simple. This week, simple again. Man, I got goals on the board. Michael Parsons, no sacks. We haven't beat this team. This team took us out of the playoffs in 2014, 2016, 2023. They mollywopped us in 2023. It's revenge. We got them in Texas Stadium. Let's win this game because if we get down the road to the playoffs, we may see this team in the playoffs again. And this game is pivotal, and it really is. Because if we would have wound up seeing Green Bay down the road, we got the same record, this would be the very game that would put us in front of Green Bay. This would be the very game. Man, I would be rolling with these teams every single week. Because the NFL is a grind. It is 17 weeks. 17 weeks of playing, and I think a couple of weeks in there where you're off. It is 19 weeks. It's a grind. It's an absolute grind. And with all the primetime games the Cowboys have this year, Thursday night games, you have got to find ways. And bump all this letting them off a day like he did last week. Bump all that talk. No, bro, it's a grind. You got to get these guys up every single week. You got to get these grown men. And some people think, oh, man, you shouldn't have to motivate millionaires. That's why you have to motivate them. They're millionaires. I know people don't understand that, but yeah, that's why you have to motivate them. They're millionaires. Because they go home at night, you and me sitting up, we crying for about 3-4 days. We going to a day job, making whatever we make. These dudes on Monday, some of them got $1 million checks hitting the bank. Could you imagine what Dak Prescott's weekly check is? Man, you get beat by the Chicago Bears and then that check hits the bank. Come on, man. You CeeDee Lamb and then that check hit the bank. Well, hey, at the end of the day, I'm a millionaire. That's why you got to keep people motivated, man. You gotta keep people motivated. Some people you don't have to do as much. Some you have to. So I love what his father did. Man, it'd be Michael Parsons week if it was me. I wouldn't even be running from this. I wouldn't be running from it. No, it's Michael Parsons week. Michael Parsons is coming back to town. It's Michael Parsons week. We got goals, no sacks. No sacks, and we are going to abuse this man. That would be me.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Building off the scouting Micah question, obviously you know him. Do you, when you turn on the film, say, hey, I'm going to wipe the slate clean and just see what the film says, or you kind of build up what you know about him and kind of pair that with what you see on film?
That's a good question. No, I mean, I think, knowing Mike, it keeps you up even more at night because I've seen him do things that I haven't seen him do yet in Green Bay. It means it's in there. I know he has it. I know he has those tools. But like I said, man, I can't wait to see Micah. I really can't. I really, he's been a huge part of this organization, and just be great to see him before the game kicks off, and then hopefully after the game.
You guys have been running the ball well, and I know game situation, score, time, down and distance can affect play calling, but is there an element of maybe perseverance where saying, hey, I know this situation might say, we probably should pass the ball a little bit more, but we're running the ball well. Is there an element of perseverance when it comes to that maybe you invoke?
Yeah, I would say last week, we made the decision when they finally made it 31-14, and I think it was early in the fourth quarter, maybe right after the interception. We knew we had to go. That's the word I would use. We had to go. You got to speed the game up. You can't. You need possessions. You need three. So you're down 3 scores. You got to go. And so it's not how you want to play it. But if you wait too late, then you're never going to have a chance to do the things that you do. It's a fine line. It's not what you want to do. But at that point, I think it was the right thing. And we were close in a few situations. It would have been great to get a touchdown in there and make them have to kind of play. And but it's a decision that you kind of have to do. But to me, you can't be half in, half out. You got to be like, all right, we're going to go, or let's take it one more series. And I've been on both sides of those, where it works and then where it doesn't.
Saad Hughes of The Athletic. Brian, you've spoken globally about Hunter Lipke. He has limited offensive snaps so far this season. What have you seen from him in terms of his abilities and how?
Cowboys don't know what to do with Hunter Lipke. I said this when they signed him. They don't know what to do with him. The Cowboys signed Hunter Lipke because he's a good player, but at the end of the day, Mike McCarthy didn't know what to do with him. Brian Schottenheimer through 3 games have shown he don't know what to do with him either. He don't know what to do with Hunter Lipke. The best thing Brian Schottenheimer could do is put Hunter Lipke in the backfield as a fullback. But I just don't think it's in his game plan.
How is he best used in the offense?
Yeah. Number one, his ability is amazing. You guys know I talk about him all the time, very glowingly. He is just the perfect Swiss pocket knife, if you will. He can play fullback. He can run the ball. He can play tight end for us. But we also have a couple very good young tight ends that we like as well. And the thing that doesn't get talked about with Hunter is when he's not playing 20 snaps for us, 25 snaps for us, which quite honestly, he probably won't play that many snaps for us. Him.
Somebody explain to me why you extend him then. Why extend Hunter Lipke? And in a game that's even missing CeeDee Lamb, he probably won't play that many snaps. I don't understand the Lipke and the Marquise Bell extensions. I don't understand those extensions. But maybe it'll get better as the season goes on. But it is crazy to me to extend Marquise Bell. He's not starting over Donovan Wilson or Malik. And then it's even crazy to me that you have Hunter Lipke and you're not going to use him as a fullback. And he'd be a fullback in this game for me. And he would be getting a bunch of snaps. Hunter Lipke, my game plan is changing. I'm going to a power run game in this game. And Hunter Lipke is going to be my lead fullback in this game. And even if I'm not running, he'll be back there for insurance to make sure that Micah Parsons, and I'm telling you, Micah Parsons ain't the one the Cowboys have to be worried about. Man, these dudes got some show enough guys on this doggone. Man, this dude, Gary, man, this dude got 4.5 sacks already in 3 games? What? Man, this dude is a menace. They got some bona fide defensive players. From the Cowboys, I'm telling you, I'm coming in 90s Cowboy style. I'm rolling up in this thing 90s Cowboy style. Hunter Lipke, you fullback today, bro. You're going to be blocking, you're going to be running, and you're going to be catching. Man, I could use this dude easy. Easy.
Playing 20 snaps is probably a good number for him that you'd want to get for him in a 70-play game. He's also playing 30, 28 to 35 plays on special teams.
Well, take him off.
So the value of Hunter Lipke is that there's nothing he can't do. He ensures you of whatever you ask him to do, he's going to do it at a high level, and that's where the confidence comes in Hunter.
And you spent a lot of time throughout the offseason establishing relationships in various ways. This week, coming off of that loss, have you seen that manifest itself and kind of pay off the way that you've kind of approached the job?
I think so. I think our guys are in a good spot. You know, I mean, like you know, this is not going to be the last adversity we deal with.
Rob Yah.
And I do
barely
believe
see,
that
he
that's
said,
the culture and the strength of the culture that we have here.
Barely see Hunter in these games. Paid him, but don't use him. Shaking my head.
Here's what's going to allow us when the next setback happens to overcome. There's a belief in this locker room in one another. There's a belief in the brotherhood. There's a belief in the fact that we do love and care about one another, and we will lay it on the line out there for us to have success. And that will pay dividends. Is it going to be this week? I don't know. I think our guys are in a good spot. You know, usually on Monday you come in, you're ready to film, and you know by the time they get back in here on Wednesday, they're ready to go, knowing that there's a new op.
Sydney.
Sydney Staples, Future Tech Sports coach. It's only week 4, and yes, this game is getting a lot of media attention. But does the outcome of a game this early on in the season, do you think it will have an impact on what the following weeks will look like? How much does it play into that?
I don't think so. I mean, it's a big game because it's the next game. The media and the fans want to build it up because of Micah coming back, and I understand that. I mean, I'm not naive enough to think that people don't want to talk about that. But it's just another opportunity. It's another chance for us to go out and play well. We did not play well enough against Chicago to beat them. So we lost. We found a way to play well enough at the right times against the Giants, and we beat them. And then Philadelphia, we had them where we kind of wanted them, and then we didn't finish it. But you literally take each game one at a time, and you say, okay, we have to play well. Are we going to win this game? I hope. I expect. But again, I'm never going to be the guy, oh, this is a must-win game. You have to do that. They're all must-wins. They're all must-wins. But the last time a team went undefeated was 1972. Did I get that right? Yes. I mean, that's the last time it ever happened. And it's all about finding a way to qualify for the playoffs and getting in the tournament and learning how to win.
I can get with Brian on this. I can understand what he's doing and I can understand what he's saying. But my approach couldn't be this. I'm sorry, my approach couldn't be that. That's not my approach. Y'all tell me what y'all think. That's not my approach to this game. Nah, bruh. 2014, 2016, 2023. We faced them in 2023. They ran us out of our own building. It's payback time. Nah, bruh, it's payback time for me. I can't think like that. Yeah, this is a big game. It is a big game. This game, whether we accept it or not, it has playoff ramifications if we plan on going to the playoffs. Games like this matter, man. They do. They do. It's not just another game. This is not just another game, man. You got to do it in this one, Brian.
You talked about maintaining focus, and you just mentioned just a lot of noise coming around into this week. Can you just tell me, like, kind of what that message is to the team to just kind of block out all that periphery noise and kind of maintain focus on just this one?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, basically, we always try to focus on us. Like when we do our scouting report onto the Packers, I don't go deep into, okay, Matt LaFleur did a coach whatever, been there 7 years, boom, boom, boom. Okay, offensively, why? I mean, the focus should be on us. It should be on Dak Prescott, Javonte Williams, Kenny Clark, Kenneth Murray. We're playing cover 3. We're playing cover 2. We're going to run zone scheme right, zone scheme left, whatever those things are. Because if you truly believe it's about you and your execution is what's going to matter and the opponent is out there to give you resistance, which I do, then you should spend more time worrying about yourself, knowing enough about the opponent that they're able to go out there and understand this is how our jobs might change based off of the opponent that we're playing.
All righty.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I got a couple of comments to make before I get out of here. The one thing we'll never be able to accuse Brian Schottenheimer of is not having an answer. He always has an answer. I can appreciate that about Brian Schottenheimer. He's always got an answer. But at the end of the day, something's going to have to start happening on the field that's matching the talk. And I'll tell you where I am now. I'm going to tell you where I am. I'm not tripping if Green Bay beats the Cowboys. I won't trip. If they beat the Cowboys silly, I'm going to trip. But the biggest thing I'm looking for in this game, and y'all tell me as I get out of here, the biggest thing I'm actually looking for in this game, personnel changes. That's the biggest thing I'm looking for. I want to see Brian Schottenheimer make another step. I've already said Brian needs a whole year. But what I want to see this week is I want to see, does Brian Schottenheimer run this team? Does he run this team? Or is he just the offensive coordinator like all of these other coaches masquerading as the head coach? I want to know if he's the coach. That's what I want to know this week from Brian Schottenheimer. And what's going to prove to me he's the coach of this football team? Jaden Blue on the field. Maurice Leofau on the field. Those two safeties, both of them changed out. I ain't even saying both. BOF, both of them. Both of them safeties changed out. Show us personnel changes that reflect what we've been seeing in this bad play. Show us more James Houston. Show us Jadeveon Clowney. Show us more blitzes. I don't want to hear nothing else about, Matt Eberflus defense don't blitz. Well, I'm the coach. I know what Matt don't like to do, but this is what Matt is about to do. I want to see that. I want to see different defenses. I want to see the things that show me that you're the head coach. The stuff that we saw when Bill Parcells was the coach. The stuff that we saw when Jimmy Johnson was the coach. The stuff that shows us, he the coach. He the coach. Because he made the necessary changes. I'm not talking about offensively and play calling. Because Jerry already said he wouldn't have got the job if he wasn't going to call the plays. Okay, I can get with that part, Jerry. But I also want you to let this man coach. Are we going to let this man coach? So I want to see all these personnel moves. I'm excited. This is what I'm at. Man, I'm more excited about the personnel moves. Because the personnel moves will show us that this team is actually going to let this man do what he's supposed to do and do what he needs to do. And it's also going to show us that they're willing to do what they need to do to win. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm looking for. Y'all tell me what y'all think. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. Is he the coach? Niecy said these press conferences should be 15 minutes and walk off. Oh, man. Yeah. Ron Hannah said, man, I'm sorry. I'm tired of this zone talk brain. We can't play zone, and that's obvious. Straight up facts. See, I'm not looking for the win is going to be great. Nah, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for everything he said that needs to be changed. Let me see it. Let me see it. I'm ready for the depth chart. I want to see the depth chart. The depth chart will be the first indicator to me. All right, he got some cachet. He got some cachet. He doing what he's supposed to do. Hallelujah. He said he talks too much. G needs to watch some Belichick present film. Keep it vague. I said that early on. Now, hallelujah. It's not a problem with him having all the answers. That's not the problem. The problem with having all the answers is, one, there's a problem that you have to give all the answers. Number two, you got all the answers, but when are you going to start putting the solutions into place? Brian's a very good talker, man, but we got to see the solution. Man, let me tell y'all something. Man, a lot of us, man, we ain't even coaches. A lot of us could look right at that roster. And you know what? A lot of us could look right at that roster and not even have to be football people going, okay, I can tell you what we need to change right here. Put Jaden Blue in. Hunter Lipke at the fullback position. We can look at the defense just right off the rip. Oh, okay, we already know we're going to have Jadeveon Clowney. James Houston needs to be at the other end more. Okay, bring in Maurice Leafau. I mean, we can make these changes so easy. My question is, why are they not making them? I want to see these changes Brian talking about. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Show me, bro. You tell me all the time. I want you to show me. Justin Durham, appreciate you. He said, yo, got the best show. He said, you got the best show, big dog. Appreciate you. All right, guys, I'm about to get out of here. I got to go put on my super suit. I'll either see y'all tomorrow at 4:30. If my wife go to bed early, you might see me tonight around 10:30. Everybody except people like Niecy. I know she go to bed early. But I'll see y'all tonight if I'm feeling up to it and if my wife go to bed early. So, again, I appreciate y'all. Until the next time, TC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys when we talk facts. Peace.